Let's go through it. I never sold any just because I knew one day I'd have to make a video like this. Here's the new one. Flat attack speed is the first two, no crit rate. Flat attack speed is the first two, no crit rate. Crit damage attack speed as the first two, no crit rate. Here we've got flat attack speed as the first two, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first two, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first two, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first two, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first two, no crit rate.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of a rant. A big ol' rant.
You want to rant? You want to rant? All right, let's fricking rant. Holy crap, exclusive gear in this game needs to be rethought. I'm losing my mind. If you don't know how exclusive gear works, we have it for heroes and we have it for factions. What's cool is on the right side, the main stat's always guaranteed. Right? So it's really cool. So you know the Arrogance exclusive amulet is always going to have attack bonus. Then the first two substats are always guaranteed to be relevant. And each one, I'm still trying to figure out 100% what every single piece of gear is, but I do have a list. Each one has its own pool. So if you ever noticed, I'll show you this when we make it to that portion of the rant, when I go into my actual gear inventory and everything. Torador and Abomination, it's guaranteed the first two substats every single time. No exception are HP bonus and defense bonus because their pool of two relevant stats that can be chosen is just two. It's just those two, right? With someone like Arrogance, it is, I believe, 4. It's flat attack speed, crit rate, and crit damage. And then the last two always on all these exclusive pieces of gear are always random. So you can see I got lucky here on this Arrogance exclusive that all 4 stats are good. However, you might be noticing well, actually, in this case, 2 good substats are missing, crit rate and crit damage. However, crit rate is missing. So why do I mention this? Well, I'm convinced there's not even weighting among those relevant substats, and I'm actually starting to lose my mind. So I've used over the course of my account, about 20 to 22,000 forge mats in each forge, which is a tremendous amount, right? That's 2,200 pieces of gear. For any normal player, I mean, that's a tremendous amount. It really is. So how am I doing? Not well. That's why I'm making this freaking video. So I just got this Arrogance amulet. This was from the shop. I do not recommend buying this. I made a video in which I say I don't recommend buying this, but I have a huge amount of this currency. So I did buy it, which they reran it strangely 2 weeks in a row, 2 months in a row, I should say, 2 cycles in a row. That marks my eighth freaking, oh my, let's readjust. My 8th, I'm so angry. My 8th Arrogance amulet. So why is that significant? Well, Arrogance and now Valeria, and they're adding one more with the update. I already covered it. I can't remember who was off the top of my head. Those are the only exclusive pieces of Cataclysm gear on an amulet with attack bonus as the main stat. And you don't get Cataclysm gear otherwise. I've done so many forges. I don't have any usable stuff. So of those 8, this is a rant, guys. This is going to be unedited. This is a rant. You want a rant? Here's a rant. Of those 8 pieces of Arrogance exclusive gear, how am I doing? So we got 8 here. Let's go through it. I never sold any just because I knew one day I'd have to make a video like this. Here's the new one. Flat attack speed is the first 2, no crit rate. Flat attack speed is the first 2, no crit rate. Crit damage attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. Here we've got flat attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. Here we got crit damage attack speed as the first 2, no crit rate. I'm 0 for 8. 0 for 8. I don't have a single Valeria piece on this account. I don't think so. And if I do, you want to guess what's on it? No freaking crit rate. That's Twyla. Oh my God, I'm seeing red right now. I'm so angry. I don't mind the long grind, but there's no light at the end of this tunnel, none at all. So no Valeria, right? None. So I'm 0 for 8 on all the pieces. And then you're thinking, why don't you just get Cataclysm the other way? I've saved every even mediocre piece of Cataclysm gear. Let me show you what we're working with. None. So you got all these Arrogance exclusives. That's it. Those are the only pieces that ever had anything close to relevant and I ever got an attack bonus main stat. That's it. That's it. I'm not trying to make this all about me, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have had similar experiences, and the inconsistency among the gear is absolute flipping lunacy. So let me do those Abomination and Torador examples. So let's go to Torador. I told you the first two, you saw that with Arrogance. It was flat attack speed, crit damage, a flat attack, crit damage. That was it, right? So it seems like that's the whole pool. But no, crit rate can come, just doesn't come. Or maybe it's not in the guaranteed 2-stat pool. It can only be the random others. I wouldn't know. I've never gotten any from all my forges. Here you go. Let's do the exclusive pieces for Torador. HP bonus defense, HP bonus defense, HP bonus defense, HP bonus defense, HP bonus defense. It's hard locked. It is hard locked. Let me take it to Abomination. To the back now, y'all. Where's Abomination? Am I blind? Oh, yeah, he's blue now. Oh, my God. I got a lot of this guy. HP bonus defense, 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 HP bonus defense. Do you get it? Do you get it? Like, some of these people have an extremely restrictive pool and other ones don't. Here's a really good example where it benefits the player. It's not always a negative, but just the fact that it's designed this way to me is a negative. I got 3 pieces of Virna exclusives: crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage. I've gone through the test server. I've done this on many accounts because I'm often gearing Virna. Her pool, just those two. It's always guaranteed attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage. At least from what I've seen in a pretty big sample. The whole thing's driving me crazy. It's so hard to get exclusive gear and then to get the substats to line up. And then you need to have a fat pile of recast hammers, which you can see I do. I'm ready. The second I get attack bonus, flat attack, crit rate, I don't even care. Just even attack bonus, then crit rate on my Arrogance or on my Valeria or whatever it's going to be. I don't care about the other subsets. I will roll it. So is it all about Arrogance? No. Do I even care about the exclusive gear? No. What I want to do is to build a Cataclysm set, right? So let's use Virna as an example. They do not drop. Attack bonus main stat, crit damage main stat, they're not dropping on amulets. You need to get the exclusive gear, and these subsets are a joke. So here's a pretty dang good piece for Virna. Throw that on. How about a nice little amazing piece here? Perfect subsets for Virna on a Curse Cult exclusive. So you're like, wow, Fastidious, you're going to have an amazing Virna. Nope. There's nothing I can use here. Nothing. Let's sort by Cataclysm. There is nothing. It's just the 8 Arrogance amulets, and none of them have crit rate. So yes, I could make up for it in other ways maybe because my gear's that good, but I shouldn't have to. So I can't even use Virna in the fun way I'd like to because of these weird restrictions. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, is there no chance to get crit rate as one of the first 2 substats and it's only the last 2 and it's fully random and probably it's weighted against you? Or are they in the selector pool? I don't know, but this is so frustrating. And I have to rant. This is not the video. I promise this is not the video I wanted to film today. I still might get my other video out, but I had to make a video on this because it's driving me up a wall. It really is. And while I'm in here, we have to talk about tier 3 gear. At best, Cataclysm is like as good as Soulbound Arcana at best when all else equal and everything perfect on the right hero. And then you can say it's elevated by these exclusive effects, but you can't complete the set, whatever. I've done testing. I'll make the video on it if you want. I mean, if we're talking about Silas, right? They give Silas his own exclusive gear, and it's a pretty cool effect that Silas gets. It's on Hell's Lament. I guess we're still talking about exclusive gear. So if we go to Silas, let's throw it over here. You can see, I actually even got an Ancient Silas exclusive. No crit rate. That's the second part of this rant. But it's always attack bonus main stat on a bangle, and it's always this God-forsaken Hell's Lament gear. Silas in half decent, like for my account, it's really good for other accounts, but just good Infernal Roar is so much better than the best test server Hell's Lament build I could put on Silas with an exclusive bangle and an exclusive ring. Like using this stuff. I mean, this stuff can be pretty good, and I've got something crazy on test server. I can do a side-by-side if you want. It's terrible. Like, there's no world where it would ever compete with just like, this is like good gear. Nothing's so crazy here. Just like good Silas gear. Like, whatever you, 250% crit damage and 87% crit rate, pretty fast, a ton of attack. I guarantee you this build would be better than any Hell's Lament build you could get going. And it's just crazy. I don't know what they're thinking. The idea of exclusive gear is very exciting, but the way it is happening, the lived experience of using and playing with and trying to enjoy exclusive gear in this game is useless. It's insane. So the final thing I wanted to wrap up on, Silas actually helps me transition. So let's show that. I got an ancient piece of exclusive gear. That is so rare, right? And I've got one other that I'm dying to show you. Ancient piece of exclusive gear. Ancients of the tier 2 DPS sets are guaranteed wholly relevant subsets, unless you get it from the Forge, which is a hot mess. But any drops, they're guaranteed completely relevant subsets. So what do I mean? There's only 2 good subsets here: crit damage and attack speed. There's no flat attack. There's no rage regen. There's no crit rate. This is for most players, this will be an unusable piece because there's no crit rate. Let's look at any tier 2 gear on my account. So we'll pop up Infernal Roar for DPS, Soulbound Arcana, and Ageless Wrath. Let's go through it. Always crit rate, crit damage, attack speed. Always crit rate, crit damage, attack speed. This one's crit damage main stat. Always attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed. This one's crit damage main stat. Always attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed. You get it. I'll click through quickly. There's no exception. Occasionally now in the Forge, you can get a terrible piece of tier 2 gear, like with that Silas tier 3 piece I just showed you. But look at this. There's no exception. This one is crit rate. And then look at that. You get that trifecta: attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed. You're guaranteed it. And it's across all pieces on the account. I promise you. But when it comes to tier 2, they're coded worse. The harder to get, higher tier gear is coded worse. So nothing is going to bring this rant home. Boy, am I fired up, man. I'm not in a good mood today. Boy, am I fired up. We go over here. I've got an Infernal Faction exclusive Ancient. It's over here. Cataclysm Piece. We're on my Igil right now. This has like nearly perfect substats, and this rolled great. You know what you're going to see? No fucking crit rate. Look at this. I mean, it's attack bonus main stat. Cool. And you got that on your Ancient piece of tier 2 plus gear. So this is tier 3. Every other attack bonus tier 2 Ancient on my account, if it had attack bonus as the main stat, would be guaranteed crit rate, crit damage, attack speed. Then you get a variable 4th stat. You hope it's flat attack. You hope it's rage regen, something like that. So this actually hit, but there's no crit rate. It's not locked in. So it's just spitting in your face. Do you know how hard it is to get an exclusive piece with relevant substats, and it's an Ancient, but then how disappointing it is when it's not crit rate? And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm like, complaining and I'm like the man who has everything. I have a very well-developed account, but you guys will reach this point. It undermines the experience so much. The Forge needs to be relooked. The coding and the predetermination into the tier 3 gear and the exclusive gear needs to be looked into. It feels so rigged, it feels so sloppy, and it makes me so angry. I'm not going to do a petition. I'm not going to do a suggestion for you guys to all upvote on Discord or something, because it seems like that's fallen on deaf ears. Well, death, I don't know. Maybe they're dead. Maybe that's why I don't hear anything. Deaf ears in the past. And all I can say is maybe let's just make a lot of noise. Tell other content creators if they're angry to make a video about it. You don't have to give me any credit like I always say. I just want this conversation started. The tier 3 gear should be like the pinnacle. The exclusive gear should be the pinnacle. It should be that thing we're looking forward to. And instead, it's the thing that causes me the most agita, the most frustration, and the least joy in the game. Share this video if you want with your friends. Make noise in the comments. Just start the conversation separately on Discord or have other creators talk about it. I really don't care. But man, this could be so cool and so unique to Watcher of Realms, what goes on over here. But instead, it's just a hot disaster. How am I 0 for fucking 8? How am I 0 for 8 on my air? Like, what are the chances of that? If it was an even distribution and there was like 3 subsets or 4 subsets and it was 2 each time, I mean, we're talking way less than 1% that this could happen. I mean, it is so frustrating. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you guys have thoughts, I will read all the comments. I try to always read the comments, but I promise you on this video, I will read all the comments because I really want us to find a solution. There's so many ways where Watcher Realms is an amazing game, and there's so many other ways where the game kind of sucks, and one change I feel like would keep it being an amazing game. And this is one of those things. I'm not saying every single time you get an Arrogance exclusive or this, that, and the other, it's guaranteed crit rate, but boy, do we need a change. Do we need a change? And I'm going to tell you, there's something else I'm going to rant about tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you when it comes to Guild Boss and the drops, or maybe I'll take a day off from ranting, but it's something to look forward to. And yeah, that's the end of the rant, guys. Hope it was a little funny. Hope it also was helpful and informative, and hope we get a conversation started. Thank you. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.